Dun 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 dun. Hey everybody, it's me, True Powers Mine. Excuse me. Excuse me. I know, so damn early. We're gonna start today's show. This is gonna be one hell of a show. Peace and power to my viewers. Let's start this thing right now.
Okay, this is a racist country. Always has been, always will be. Because the people who consider themselves discovering this country were racist. You know, and Christopher Columbus did not discover this country. But everybody who came here, you know, they came under the banner of Christianity. Christianity, and the church told them, you have been ordained and you have permission from God to go out, and anybody who's not a Christian, you have a moral obligation to either subjugate them or exterminate them. All right? Now, of course, these folks aren't the real Christians. You know, they stole Christianity from the continent of Africa, brought it back to Europe, and made it up to be their own thing.
Now, that's a great temple.
But my point to you is...
that is a great temple. Let's add on to it from there. Hold on. Oh, we got some things.
Caught in his net. Caught.
Hold on, we got some things to go over. Nope. Hold on.
Glad to hear from you, Michael.
Oh my God. And the one thing I wanted, it's not even up there. Okay, hold on. Hold on, give me 1 second. Yeah. I try to have this all planned out, but you know, yeah. Good morning, Brother Marty, Brother Fred. Thank you, both of you guys getting up, getting in here. Hopefully the audio isn't too choppy. I'm trying to get to this deal here. It's pretty important. Here it is. Perfect.
To be clear.
Hold on.
They should.
Hold on. It was I think it was around here.
As opposed to a manager there.
Trump's club. So
yeah.
Multiple sources. Ghislaine Maxwell was Jeffrey Epstein's fixer, the person who facilitated his abuse of teenage girls. But since Epstein's death, Maxwell has rarely appeared in public and has not been charged with any crime. Now, according to a new report, that is not an accident. Apparently, she is being protected. Chief breaking.
Protected. Protected by whom? This is what everyone should be asking. Who is protecting her and why? Let's continue.
News correspondent Trace Gallagher has more on this story. Hey, Trace.
Hey, Tucker, the question has long lingered about whether his ex-girlfriend and confidant Ghislaine Maxwell would face charges for allegedly recruiting and grooming these young girls for underage sex. But our corporate cousin, the New York Post, says, for now, Maxwell is untouchable, with the source saying, quote, Ghislaine is protected. She and Jeffrey were assets of sorts for multiple foreign governments. They would trade information about the powerful people caught in his net, caught at Epstein's house, adding, quoting here, she is not in the U.S. She moves around. She is sometimes in the U.K., but most often in other countries such as Israel, where her powerful contacts have provided her with safe houses and protection. And separately, we should note, a friend of Ghislaine Maxwell tells the Sun newspaper that she has enough dirt on those powerful contacts that she expects to avoid any prosecution at all.
Where is the magic in the sky? Where's justice, I ask? Now listen to this old man. I actually had a chance, and I'm like, so close to the end here. I've actually had a chance to talk to the amazing Randy one time on the phone. I was trying to get him to come on the show, but he since got out the game. I had a very pleasant chat, and I think I really now, as because that was in the very beginning of the show. Now that I've done the show and learned so much more, I really see where he's trying to come from. Check this out.
Godless person out there that Sylvia Brown talks about all the time. I think that something needs to be done about this. We really would love to have suggestions from you folks on how to contact federal, state, at local authorities to get them to do something. If you find out now, I understand.
But here's the problem. The reason why, just like in that last report, the people who are doing dirt already have your elected officials in their pockets. Okay. Hold on.
20 minutes or so, and then the people look in the mirror and they say, I just paid a lot of money for that reading, and what did she say to me? I love you. They always say that. They don't get any information. They don't get any value for what they spend. Now, Sylvia Brown is the big operator.
Now he's talking and pertaining to, now I'm kind of jumping along here because I got so much to pump out, but he's talking about psychics. All right. And Epstein, yes, is a there's something seriously wrong with the religious nation anthem state of Israel protecting this chick from prosecution. Now we know a lot of the religious institution has an affinity to be sexually perverted. They do. They just do. I'm sorry. That's just what it is. All right. Let's probably say that cat for last. Let's hold on. This is going to be, hold on one second. Let me pull this out.
I was thinking of what my opening statement would be. I want y'all to think about two things. I represent one direction, Arden represents a different direction. I'll let him present his. My trust in Jesus, I became a Christian. Also at that time, I became what you would commonly hear referred to as a young earth creationist at that same time. And then for the last 42 years, I have been an avid reader of creation and evolution literature and thinking about it. But that doesn't explain why I'm here today. The reason I was invited was because in 1999, I was elected to the Texas State Board of Education. And while I was on the board, after 10 years in 2009, the board adopted new science standards here in Texas. They call them the TEKS, the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills. And at that time, we adopted science standards in March of 2009. Those new science standards is ultimately why I got here. Now, we adopted them the next week in Science magazine. They carried a story about the new standards. And to quote, it says, new science standards for Texas schools strike a major blow to the teaching of evolution. Whoa. That's the lead sentence from Science magazine, April 3rd, 2009. In there, they have some quotes where they talk about, they even interviewed me, and I was able to say, I think the new standards are wonderful. I said, and then it says, an evaluation of the sudden appearance of fossils and explanation of stasis in the fossil record is one of the things we got included. And also, I was excited about the fact that the students would learn about unguided natural processes trying to explain the complexity of the cell. Well, this lady, Eugenie Scott, who's real big in the evolution circles, and she's retired from the National Center for Science Education, she said, moderates on the board may have failed to recognize the final amendments as intelligent design talking points. So I think it's very important to remember that Science magazine, one of the most reputable magazines in science in the world, had a story about what happened. Well, 2 months later, in June, they had another story about what we did. So you just don't get two stories in Science magazine about something like this unless it's a big story. And there, they interviewed this Kenneth Miller. Kenneth Miller is a very well-known.
I'm sorry. I need to get to a better part. Hold on.
The game is still the same. Around the world, capitalism is not working. It's collapsing. And you've got a whole lot of useless eaters.
And that's the point. That's why it's important to prepare, or should have been prepared.
All right. You got a whole lot of useless eaters out there. And here's a couple of them. Let's start.
The teaching of evolution in modern science. Let's be clear, this is Eugenie Scott again. This is a setback for science education in Texas. Not a draw, not a victory. Even the American Association of Advancement of Science noted creationist notch win in Texas showed. However, when you get to the details of the Fordham report, it says the standards handle the subject straightforwardly. And then it listed the standards. So which was it? Did we attack evolution? The most interesting thing is if creationists try to insert creationism into any standard anywhere, guess what happens? They get struck down as unconstitutional because you can't teach creationism. Even though we had a majority to get some good, strong science standards, they were not creationists or intelligent design talking points. Or the other side could have challenged them in court and said, "Oh, you're." So then we're going to go back to Miller and Levine. Kenneth Miller in 2014, and I gave a copy of this to Aaron. He can follow along with me. They had an assignment in their book that was adopted in 2014, and I was for all the textbooks to be adopted once these books came out, because at the time I said they'll have to explain the sudden.
Okay, hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. This particular aspect, I'm gonna pull it off of this show right now. I'm gonna come back later, probably today, and make a video just surrounded, because the topic that these two guys are going into is not fast enough for me to do the pacing I want to do with the show today. So we're gonna flip gears. Fear not, I will take that video up later. But this is what I want to talk about right now. Check this out.
Damon was 5 years old when he asked his Aunt Lily the question, "Lily, am I black or am I white?"
Very powerful question, ain't it?
I don't know if his Aunt Lily was surprised by the question. She said, "Well, your mommy's white."
Is that true? If his mother is this guy's daughter, or his father is this guy's daughter, will Aunt Lily be true?
And your daddy's white.
Like I said, would Aunt Lily be true?
So you're white. I'm pretty sure that was not the right answer, because Damon said, "Well, when I grow up, I'm going to be black."
See, they're all laughing. I don't know if he's really pandering to the crowd on this or what's the deal, but they're all laughing. This is all just a joke, but it's really not a funny joke at all. But let's continue.
Damon was not confused by his basic colors. So why would a 5-year-old ask such a strange question? He already knew that it mattered. And at 5 years old, he had already attached value to race. And he wanted answers to questions that we don't want to answer. But we have to start answering race questions, and we have to start answering with the truth. We tell children that race is real, but that race doesn't matter. And the opposite is actually true. Race is not real, but race does matter. If that sounds crazy to you, think about the evidence. I was in 6th grade, living in Hawaii, when I decided I was going to be an anthropologist. I wanted to study human cultures. To support my decision, my parents bought me the book, The Color of Man by Robert Cohen. And I learned from that book that our skin color is determined by the amount of pigment in our skin, especially the pigment melanin. Dark-skinned people have a lot of melanin.
And this is where, this is where this gentleman misrepresents the truth in his next statement. Melanin is extremely powerful. Melanin is one of the universal, I would almost say, life forces out there. Let's continue.
Lighter skinned people have less. So while
some of them have none.
Differences in our skin color are very real, anthropologists long ago rejected the idea of races connected to skin color.
I wonder why. I mean, who were the people determining that? How many of those people were actually melanated people on that panel determining that?
There is no culture in color. There are no muscular or mental abilities connected to melanin.
Wow. And he can say that with a straight face, y'all. Like he can say that with a straight face. Like the wrinkles that aren't appearing on his face right now. If he was to allow his hair to grow out, the naps that would form, he says that with a straight face. Well, we need to get your cousin up here, Fred.
There are no character traits.
No, fuck that. Fred, seriously, Brother King, could you please reach out to your cousin? Have your cousin call in my call-in line. Hold on. I would like to have your cousin on the show, bro. I can't do it by myself. I'm overextended as it is. I need your help. That's the call-in line. Have your cousin call me low-key. I can get them on the show. We don't have to show their face if they don't want. We can promote her book, his book, whatever, gender your cousin may be. We'll promote their books, their tapes, whatever. But, yeah. Let's check this out. Let's continue. My bad, brother A1. Yes, I know. Non-white folk or non-melanated folks or non-black folks or whatever do have some melanization in their skin. But at the end of the day, we're actually all just humans. Hopefully, the alien invasion. I did not mean to say that. Hopefully, the singularity that we all will experience in the future will bring home the fact that we're all human beings and we kind of need to be down with one another. But until that point comes, we got to fight this ignorant bullshit everywhere we see it. Let's continue.
No virtues, no vices, no value. There are no muscular or mental abilities connected to melanin. There are no character traits, no virtues, no vices, no values connected to skin color.
I don't know what world this gentleman's been living on, but he just said there is no value. Hold on, we gotta play this one last time because I might not be getting it right. Listen to him one last time.
Culture in color. There are no muscular or mental abilities connected to melanin. There are no character traits, no virtue.
I'm sorry. I just gotta say this. The power that's locked in those pyramids, the same power locked in your melanin. That's the key to starting the pyramids. That's the key to reopening the power. That's the key to regaining the ability. But if we don't want to accept this, then there's going to be more brutality, more death, possibly even genocide. For either we got to turn on the pyramids, get the power, or we're going to go down to Easy Bake Oven Lane. I'm talking in codes. Don't take that literal. I'm talking in codes, and those who understand the codes know what I mean. Let's kick it.
Virtues, no vices, no values connected to skin color. Yet from a very early age, when our children are just learning their colors, they pick up that skin color is different from all other kinds of color. And we don't tell them why. Elliot loves the human body. And it's not that normal kind of 4-year-old obsession with body parts. There's Elliot and his love of the human body.
Hannibal Lecter. Oh, I did not mean to say that. I did not mean to say that. Oh my God. I'm trying to keep the propaganda down today, y'all. It's incredibly tough. Let's move back to this other report. I want to show you what non-melanization can get you. It can get you a whole damn country if you play your cards right.
Are those claims that that case was dropped? It was dropped before it went to court. In your opinion, as a lawyer and your experience, is there anything you can say as to the validity of those claims, or whether or not there will be any more about that?
Nothing at all. The only thing that I can say about President Trump is that he is the only person who, in 2009, when I served a lot of subpoenas on a lot of people, or at least gave no.
Wise guy. It's funny that you mentioned that. I was talking to my wife yesterday about the protesters today, and I was asking her, what's her opinion of, and she was unaware because there's been a bunch of stuff happening. Neither one of us really been keeping up on the news. But I told her about the gun control efforts. About how the Virginia governor said, "You boys, you better not go to that rally with no guns." And apparently their state Supreme Court upheld that. Now, you know that these pro-gun folks are going to show up with guns. I mean, that's what they're all about. I doubt very seriously whether there'll be a bloodbath. More than likely, mass incarceration. More than likely, mass incarceration. People will jump out their cars with their weapons and end up being taken into custody. But seriously, all it really takes is one nut job, squeeze one trigger. The police are hyper mobilized. In fact, let's segue real quick. Virginia prepares gun rally. Let's just what to know about the gun right rally, okay? See, these folks are not playing game. Now y'all can play games if you want because apparently we like to play games. But these folks are not playing no fucking games. Officials in Virginia are preparing for a gun right rally on Martin Luther King birthday. Jr. You know what? I wonder if any of those damn reporters are going to call him Martin Luther Coon again, like they like to do. But anyhow, Governor Ralph Northam declared a state of emergency, banning guns from Capitol grounds. Banning guns from Capitol grounds. So much for power of the people, huh? Let's see what this says. Hopefully ain't no BS. Also, by the way, a lot of the videos are being stifled in silence. I want to show you guys my iStar channel so that you can oh my god. Okay, whatever. Damn commercials. Check this out. This will be more productive. True power is mine, iStars. Okay. This is the problem. You got to take. Okay, check this out. Don't even do it like that because that won't even come up. I'm going to show you exactly what to type. All right. Oh, hold on. Boom. I just saw a bunch of shit. This is why I'm so glad that I don't clear my search browser. But let me do this first. You type in TPIM SR live, and then you type in iStars, ITAR, and then it's a Z at the S, and then it's vids. No, it's iStar like that, and then it's VIDZ, I think. Vids. Yeah, there it is. All right. And then the iStar, I think. I'll be able to tell you. Oh, yeah, that's it. Okay, so you can just type in iStars, but when you come to iStars, right here on their search bar, believe it or not, this is fast internet, folks. Okay, now you type in TPIM. Oh, motherfucker. TPIM SR live in iStars. Hit search result, and I come up. Bam, there it is. There it is. All right. So on iStar, there's going to be videos that I cannot post on YouTube for copyright, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But the information will be over there on iStars. Okay. Now, check this shit out. I know I'm segueing just a cunt here, but I want you guys to see this. History of corn. Listen to what Google says. Listen to what Google says. Oh, you're not going to speak?
Here's a summary from Camp Silos. Scientists believe people living in central Mexico developed corn at least 7,000 years ago. Teosinte looked very different from our corn today. The kernels were small and were not placed close together like kernels on the husk ear of modern corn.
Okay. Now, that being said, grains raised in ancient Egypt. No. Hold on. Let me go down this one. Oh, that's okay. You saw that corn was developed, scientists are saying, in the continent of the Americas, right? Now, it's the history of corn, okay? Grain raised in ancient Egypt. Yeah, I do have a new keyboard, so. Okay, hold on. Did ancient Egyptians raise corn? How come it keeps on saying race? This is fucked up. There it is, right here. Listen. Come on, Google. You ain't gonna read this to us? You're not gonna read this to us, really, Google? Okay. Let me get this in frame, y'all. Animal husbandry corn products. The Egyptians maintained a largely vegetarian diet. The staple crops of ancient Egypt were wheat, or emmer, a wheat grain, chickpeas, lentils, lettuce, onions, garlic, sesame seed, corn in ancient Egypt. But we just determined that corn was developed 7,000 years ago in North America, or basically Central America, Mexico. But yet there's corn in ancient Egypt. How does this work, Yao? Because Columbus didn't sail around the world 7,000 years ago, remember? Do you see what's going on? Start using this damn search engine for more than just pure fuckery. Start using it to get real information. And this was updated, January 2017. So this is a million fucking years ago. Corn was grown in ancient Egypt. Yes, brother A1. See, the history that they don't want you to have is the history of truth, the history of reality, the history that humankind has been engaging with one another long before 1492. In fact, corn has been here longer than the Edomite. If you really think about it, if dude only showed up 6,000 years ago, corn's been around for 1,000 years longer than that. But you know what the corniest bit is? He'll have you believe that he made corn, he made the pyramids, he made this, You didn't do nothing. Melanated man and woman, you guys are just blah, blah, blah. This feeds into the whole stereotype that you're lazy and you're just begging to be exterminated. Like, yeah, we don't want to develop no weapons or no way to defend ourselves. Please come and exterminate us. Please, please, please. And they will use religion to justify it. Now, let's continue with this dude here real quick.
He was instructing me in anatomy a couple months ago. He told me all about the respiratory system, the part that the lungs and the diaphragm play. And he told me all about the digestive system, what the esophagus and the stomach and the large and small intestines do. And he told me that the brain is the control center for the entire body. If you were with him, or if he were here, he would instruct you as well. And he might even draw you a picture. Well, I was getting a little bored with the lecture, so I stopped him. And I said, Elliot, what color is my skin? Without even looking at me, he said, it's black. And then I said, well, what color is your skin? There was a long pause. And then he said, gray? Gray. If we pay attention, we can catch our children in mid-indoctrination. Elliot had figured out that my brown skin is called black, but he had not yet been schooled in what.
Yeah, but and this dude ain't the main thing. The reason why Elliot's jealous of that skin. He want to be brown. The little boy said when he grows up, he wants to have black skin. Just think how crushing it was for that young man to realize that would never happen. I mean, unless he takes some sort of melanin pill, which one would suggest. Well, where are they getting melanin? Is it artificially synthetically synthesized in nature? Or are they harvesting melanated folks, grinding them down to get that melanin? But he ain't gonna allude to this. His grandbaby's pissed off because he got that beautiful brown skin. The grandbaby has that beautiful pink skin or beautiful white skin or beautiful skin in general as well. But the grandbaby wants that brown skin. Let's continue.
To call the color of his own skin. And he had not been told why we call this brown black and that pinkish color white. Of course, our notions of race go beyond skin color to other physical traits and abilities. I learned the word anthropology from my 6th grade teacher, Mr. Wade. My best friend Ted and I, used to stay after school with Mr. Wade and pick his brain. And one of those days, Mr. Wade told us about a U.S. senator who believed that black people were not very bright, but that they could run fast and jump high. And as the three of us talked about it and thought about the students in our multicultural classroom, we had to laugh. Because the intellectual and academic stereotypes.
You didn't have to laugh. That laughing bit was a coping mechanism. He was laughing to cope with the uncomfortableness of the situation. It's not comfortable being a raisin in a bowl of hate-filled milk. That's not a comfortable position to be in. And you try to laugh that shit off. It's just a coping mechanism. Let's continue.
Did not fit the people in our class. And the athletic stereotypes fared even worse. We also believe that race is somehow connected to bloodlines. And we believe that bloodlines trace back to 3 or 5 pure races. But again, the science doesn't back that up. There are no pure races. I apologize for giving.
That is what I really want to tie in to with the other guy, that Aaron Rod guy, because he speaks on that as well. This notion that science, there's nothing scientifically that validates race being a bloodline concept. Really? So with one swoop, you just took out the original man because, Adam and Eve, really, when we use critical thinking, cannot be white folks. Jesus couldn't be white folks. Now, all of a sudden, Adam and Eve don't exist. Jesus don't exist. None of that shit is real, y'all. Fuck it. Everything is just a lie. Now, as long as everything was white, then it's right. But as soon as it stops being that way, now all of a sudden it's a fucking lie piece of shit. We don't even deal with it. I just want to share with you how many melanated brothers and sisters went to their grave believing in white Jesus. No, seriously, how many grandmas and grandpas, mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, cousins, aunts and uncles even children, melanated, died believing that racist propaganda, that they were cursed by Shem, seeing Noah's pecker, that in some way, shape, or form, they aren't good enough to be worthy of a decent life because of these spiritual tenets that was forced upon them. Don't forget, the slaves in the United States of America back in the day didn't have a choice to accept that religion. There was a famous doctor, I forget his name, but I want you all to hear this. If you don't hear nothing I say today, please hear this, and that will solidify your understanding, and you will start down the road of critical thinking. If a man gives you shit, I'm going to say it my words, not his words. If a man gives you shitty shoes, a man gives you shitty food, a man gives you a shitty home, and a man brutally rapes you, brutally treats you, why would that man give you a good religion? If all the other shit he brings to the table is basically oppression and degradation, unfairness, unrighteousness, why would he give you a righteous religion? Just let that shit sink in. Please, brothers and sisters, we need you. We need you. Don't turn away from us. Work with us. We need you.
Giving y'all old news. This is old news. This is not something that is the domain of these elite experts, and we've known it for a long time, but most of us don't know it. Because in our lived realities, we follow a stubbornly ingrained false narrative.
No, it's not that we follow that. It's that you're powerless to change the narrative, brother. Your policy. I don't like how he candy coats shit. He has some really good shit, but then he candy coats it.
So, if race is not real, why talk about it? We certainly have a number of reasons to avoid race talk. We believe that any mention of race means that there's going to be heroes and villains.
And rightfully so. There should be heroes and villains. I mean, if you snatch up people and waste their fucking lives slaving so that you can have this so-called lifestyle, that's villainous. Let's continue. Yeah, I think he is a rainbow. I think he's tasting the rainbow, but I don't know. He apparently supposed to be a grandpa, so who knows what the hell's going on.
Angels and demons, winners and losers. We believe that someone is going to get called a racist. We might believe.
You know what? I think the impact of a black man calling a white man a racist is somewhat muted compared to the impact of a white man calling a black man a nigger. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we really saying at the end? You know, white boy calling a black man a nigger is him saying, you're subhuman, bud. A black man calling a white man a racist, or a black boy calling a white man a racist, what's he really saying? You believe you're superior, pal. Do you not even see there ain't even equality in the so-called cut downs? But the powerful, you ain't gonna call me a racist because that evokes Hitler and what he did. See, Hitler was a failed racist. He spilt the beans. He let the end game be known before there was really adequate power to ensure the total final solution. That was his problem. Let's continue.
And someone should be called a racist. We don't agree on what racism is. We don't even agree on what race is.
I had to disagree with homie. There's a lot of agreement on what race is. If you don't believe me, take a trip to West Virginia. Take a trip to Hollywood. All right? Now let's continue.
We believe that race is the domain of some people and not other people. And we believe that any mention of race only exaggerates our differences, minimizes our similarities, and exacerbates our problems. but we must talk about it anyway. In her TED Talk, Colorblind or Color Brave, Melody Hobson lays out the case for pursuing racial diversity in all of our encounters, beginning with businesses and boardrooms. And she gives...
Sounds like integration to me. I mean, you had 400 years to get that one done, but it's just not getting done. Just more hatred, more animosity. Let's continue.
Does that charge for the sake of the children? Well, recent studies have told us where children get their racial ideas. Ali Michael and Eleanor Bartoli describe what they found in a study of white parents and their white adolescent children. They interviewed the parents and the children both separately and together, and they found that the parents reported teaching their children, do not be racist.
You know, that's a lie. Dylan Roof had white parents.
Do not talk about race.
You know, that's a lie. That Spencer guy, Steve Bannon, had parents. They were white.
Do not use the word black.
That's pretty much what Alex Jones followed.
And do not notice racial differences.
All right, and that right there is a straight lie. Everybody knows this racial. Down the street, over the creek, through the mountain, people see your race coming.
They wanted to teach their children that that everyone is the same and that racism is bad. And they defined racism as overt, violent, and for the most part, obsolete. But the messages the children reported were conflicting and incomplete. The children reported learning everyone is the same, race is superfluous, and hard work determines where you get in life. They also reported some views they had learned about certain racial groups, including the belief that Black people are poor, Black people are lazy, Black neighborhoods are dangerous, and Black people are physically stronger than white people.
I wonder why. Sitting there on the plantation, reading books and drinking lemonade while people are out there busting their ass, being bred to be, okay, you put that buck with this mammy, and you take that mammy and you put her with that buck over there, and we'll make a super uber slave and blah, blah, blah. Of course, there's going to be some physiological, sociological differences. Slavery was not that terribly long ago, people. But the DNA genetic trauma of that event is still rippling throughout time and will continue to ripple all the way until those chromosomes are combined with people that did not have that experience. And it cancels out all that negative karma. There's only two ways to repay a karmatic debt. You guys might not believe this. One is to actually find the person you wronged and physically give them trinkets to, whatever. The other way is to screw them and produce life. Let's continue.
Those views are not far from those from the U.S. Senator when I was in 6th grade. Now, I don't suspect that this kind of racial teaching is exclusive to white families. The racial mixed messages we give transcend our own family racial histories. And when it comes to race, to ethnicity, to color, we do talk about it, but not in mixed company and not in polite company. It comes up when there's some event in our national culture. O.J. Simpson, English only, Trayvon and Zimmerman, border control, 9/11.
Planned Parenthood, putting abortion clinics in black neighborhoods. Followers of different religious sets putting in their cult membership boxes, storefront churches in poor black communities, at the same time owning the liquor stores. All this stuff is a cumulative effect. What he's talking about is a cumulative effect of the original wrongness. The original wrongness is snatching somebody up and turning around saying, hey, even though you're free, you can't do this, you can't do that. This is what has been placed inside us from the alien contact. Let's continue.
President Barack Obama. Something happens in our culture, and we hear the responses from the media, and we express our own opinions to people who we believe, we hope, are like-minded with us. And we hear the views of everyone around us. And sometimes we hear views of people, our closest friends, that we never knew they held. And we realize that race does matter. These incidents happen, and our children who have been taught to be colorblind are left blindsided.
Just where the hell what children are you talking about? Who's raising their children to be colorblind? Because I'm telling you, in a little area that I grew up in and presently live, there are no such blinder on these folks. Quick to call you a nigger. Quick to call you a nigger. Not nigga. Not brother. But hey, nigger. Fuck you, nigger. Quick to say that to you. Don't have to know you. Just driving by. So I can't agree with this whole color blindness. And the churches out this way are still peddling the image of white Jesus. So, yeah, I don't want to hear none of that bullshit
But
either.
these incidents give us the opportunity to tell the truth to children. And there are incidents in our personal lives. Chelsea.
Peace and power, Sister Janice. Welcome to the show. Brother A1, welcome. Brother James, welcome. And Brother Thomas, welcome. Welcome, welcome all you guys. Peace and power. And Wise Guy, if I haven't acknowledged you, welcome to the show as well.
Was 6. She was sitting with me, looking up image.
Oh my God, this part. If you're easily triggered, I want to give you a spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. If you're easily triggered, this next bit is going to be terribly, terribly unpleasant. I'm going to give you a few seconds to mute the sound. And then when it's past that point, I'll bring up my picture and I'll let you know it's time you can come back and listen to the show again. But I don't want to trigger nobody. Okay, let's continue.
Images from the Disney animated movie Frozen. She stumbled upon a picture of Elsa, her favorite character. This Elsa had dark brown skin.
And that little racist ass grandchild wasn't having none of that.
And Chelsea was not having it. What? That's not Elsa. She's black. It's ugly.
Did you just hear what he just fucking said? She's black. It's ugly. What the fuck? What the fuck? Now, who taught that little baby black is ugly? Who taught her that? Do you think it might have been subtly reinforced by family members? Subtly reinforced by things she may be viewing on Disney? Maybe even subtly reinforced by his actions and behavior. That is horrible. Listen to it one more time.
Was not having it. What? That's not Elsa. She's black. It's ugly. She's sitting right here with me. She's almost in my lap.
You hear how the audiences laugh at that? Ah, this boy is funny. This boy is funny. Ah. That would be absolutely heart-wrenching. That would be absolutely heart-wrenching and crushing. I mean, you really can't get mad at the child. Let's throw that out there on the table right now. But you should be very pissed off at your so-called leaders and at the so-called social cohesion of the society. You should be extremely upset about that. Let's continue.
Lap. What would you say? I sat there frozen. I could ignore it. Let it go.
Basically, you did.
Let it go. I could get angry. Don't say that about black people.
Now, how is that getting angry? Hold on. Now, how is that getting angry? Don't say that about. Now, what if she would have said something crazy about, the president? Hey, the president looks like a fucking orange. Fucking stupid as fuck, annoying orange. Don't say that about the president. Is that getting angry? Defending one's physical appearance is not anger. Is instructing and guiding the child to be respectful of others. Just as if a child was to say, "Oh, look at that white skin. That shit's ugly. You can see the veins. Ew, ew." You shouldn't let that shit fly either. Or look at that person over there. They got brown skin. Ew, ew. Don't look like they're fully clean. Ew. No, you shouldn't let that fly either. This is what I'm talking about. Whenever the defense of the people who are being victimized, brutalized, oppressed, discriminated against, disenfranchised, dispossessed, whenever you stand up for those folks and their dignity, now you're angry. That feeds off into this thing. Really should be angry at the people who put this shit together and put it out there like that. But then again, if those people would have been dealt with, oh boy here wouldn't be up here on the TED Talk doing his little thing. Almost at this time, he's almost, yow's a boss. Yow's a boss. I'm here to make you laugh, boss. Yeah. Mammy. Some old bullshit, minstrel show, fucking clown shit for real. He had a great opportunity to be real and strong here. Look, folks, we have a serious problem. The serious problem is this hatred that I'm even identifying in my grandchildren. Now, I don't understand how are these this grand. Did he marry some chick who already had kids and he's like, okay, I'm the daddy? Or did he actually, put the beef in this chick and made her pop out some children? I'm still confused on that aspect, but let's continue.
But I love our Chelsea.
Looks like he's about ready to cry. It looks like he's about ready to fucking cry.
And I wanted to know more. So I said, "You think black skin is ugly?" "Yes," she said. Well, not your skin. But Elsa is not supposed to be black.
If this child's so pissed off about Elsa being black, what's she gonna think when, those Hebrew Israelites dropped the real knowledge that Jesus indeed was black, Abraham was black, Isaac was black, King David was black. I'm gonna say everybody in that doggone book was black, every single one, except for Pontius Pilate, the Romans. All of those characters, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But the characters being victimized, black. You see, we can sit here and play these little games. Oh, we don't know the origins of this. We don't know that. But we do. And we know why it's been put in place. Because as long as a little boy like him's growing up in this crazy ass system, instead of developing new engineering, instead of developing new computer codes, instead of developing new technologies to defend himself and his family and the people he loves. Good morning, brother Shannon. Peace and power. He's going to be too busy trying to validate just his own existence, which will never come to true validation. Yes, anti. Now, I'm pro-human. I'm not anti-white. I'm not anti-black. I'm not anti-anything. I'm just simply pro-human. Now, obviously, because I'm black, I do have a particular interest in black affairs, such as they are. But at the end of the day, I would rather see a reconciliation of all the races and we stand strong as one united front versus, oh, I'm just going to be in my little group. I'm just going to be in my little group. Oh, I'm going to be in my little group. Let's continue this. Like I said, this is a very triggering episode. Hold on, let me put this down for those. There might be some people out there. You can check it out now. The triggering part's over. Now we're back to just the normal bullshit. All right, let's continue.
And I could only agree with her. What followed?
Oh my God, Sister Janice. Sister Janice. Bless your soul. Bless that sister. Hold on. We have found racism to be encoded in AI. Rise of Racist Robots. August 8th, 2017. It's not that long. Is AI racist? Let's see what this brother has to say. And I'll get back to this dude, but that was basically his money shot right there when he was talking about his little grandbaby saying black.
Artificial intelligence is being used to do many things, from diagnosing cancer, stopping the deforestation.
What the fuck? Okay. Once again, this dude over here, hold on, let me show you a picture of him, wherever he is. Okay, this dude, basically bluish willow right there. Really the rest of this interview is just fluff. So we can remove this one to save on bandwidth. And let's get in. I like where the direction the sisters is shooting us. So let's listen to this.
Of endangered rainforests, helping farmers in India with crop insurance, and it will help you find the next Firefest documentary on Netflix or Hulu. And in some cases, AI can even be used to help you save money on your energy bill. But how could something so helpful be racist? An older TV episode of Better Off Ted called Radical Sensitivity gives us some perspective. In the episode, mega corporation Viridian Dynamics has decided to save money at its home office by installing sensors that will switch off the power whenever nobody's in a room. Except that there's a glitch in the system, and it keeps people that are darker skinned from being recognized from the algorithm. And when the show's protagonist, Ted Chris, suggests that these sensors are racist, his boss, Veronica Palmer, explains that
the company's position is that it's actually the opposite of racist because it's not targeting black people, it's just ignoring them.
We can go back to 20.
Wow, did you hold on? This is yes, right here. This is how they're gonna be like, this is how you need to, this is what it is. Listen to this.
Position is that it's actually the opposite of racist because it's not targeting black people, it's just ignoring them.
We can go back to 2015 and witness one shocking real-life example of this bias in action when Google's image service, Google Photos, mistakenly categorized black people as gorillas. Was Google wrong, or were they just ignoring black people as well?
Google is implementing what the atheists are demonstrating. Remember, when atheists say that we all come from monkeys, we are all basically great apes. Now, if you look at it from that point of view, now Google is just, it's just on it. Yes, you are monkeys. You are a monkey. Look in the mirror. You're a fucking monkey. You're a hairless monkey. That's what evolution and the fossil record shows. If you don't want to accept that, then that means now you're just an intolerant piece of shit, but you're still a monkey. Sounds like the Democratic Party reparations. This is what I'm talking about, y'all. This planet is doomed unless humanity comes together. If we don't want to unite, if we don't want to form a true coalition of righteousness, and I ain't talking about that nonsense in any book. I'm talking about universal righteousness that's in your heart right now. Then there's really nothing less to talk about. Ultimately, I just can relegate myself to just the countdown guy. Just countdown to destruction. Countdown to the hammer. Countdown to the train ride. Countdown to extermination. Because the nature of this thing has not changed. The only thing has changed is the tools that a hater can deploy against their targeted group. Right now, black folks aren't being targeted. We're just straight up being ignored. Oh, we don't want to hear about your reparations. We don't want to hear about your police brutality. We don't want to hear about your voting disenfranchisement. We don't want to hear about your incarceration rates. We don't want to hear about shit from you people because you people simply don't exist. It's sort of like the Star Wars movie. If it's not in the Jedi library, then it doesn't exist. And guess what? There are no niggas or niggers or black folks, or melanated man and woman in the Jedi library. That's a code. So you better understand, before you exterminate a people, you must get them out of the consciousness of the rest of society. And let's face it, brothers and sisters, right now, we're just looking like a bunch of whiners, slackers, unpatriots, anti-white threats. That's all we're looking like. They're deleting your post again. See, this is what I'm talking about, man. Hey, Sister Janice, can you call into the show? They can't delete that shit. They won't be able to delete your fucking voice. I will allow you to say anything you want, sister. Call into the show. You can say anything you want, totally uncensored. You're a long-time listener, long-time viewer. Totally respect your opinion. If you want to, please call in. If you can, please call in. We'll get you on the big horn. But I want you guys to really analyze and digest this. Once again, if you was an alien species, you came across humanity, you see the potential in our eyes, you see the potential in our souls. What is the best strategy to ensure that our people will never compete with your people, setting us against each other based upon physical characteristics that are handed down by our people? That's in complete opposite of what the one brother was saying, that, oh, race has no culture, it has no blah, blah. It does. It has all that. But unfortunately, it also has an element of people who want to use it to crush others. Hold on. Hey, everybody, we got a caller. Welcome to the show. Is this Sister Janice?
Peace and blessings, brother Pat.
Yes.
How you doing?
I am doing great, doing excellent. I'm glad you called in. You know, we're gonna do this.
You threw me off. I didn't expect you to actually call me.
Now I'm gonna.
But the only thing I was hoping was, I said, if you shave a monkey and an ape, they're white under their hair, and they are, because they're closer to monkeys and apes than we could ever be. We didn't just evolve from no ape or monkey. Don't ever believe that. Those are more lies. We came from the Creator.
Yes, I agree.
That's all I said. It's like whenever I say something on YouTube, they start deleting me.
Because you say it with such strength. The truth has power. And they don't want your power to shine. They don't want none of our powers to shine.
They don't want any of our power to shine. So, Pat, you from Missouri?
Yeah.
So am I.
Yes, I am. I'm out here in God's country.
In God's country. Okay, then. Well, all right. I don't know what to say now. I'm on the air.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, hold on. Let's have a
conversation.
Yeah, let's have a conversation.
To get out the subject. But Black Sunrise did a show about Meghan Markle, and that show was so powerful. I believe everything she said. It makes a lot of sense why they didn't throw her out. And also to Brother David Randall, it also has to do with black men are not supposed to be able to choose from the royal family, but the royal family can choose whatever pickup woman that they want. Oh, yeah. I believe this is all a race card.
Yes, that's if you don't have the power to be able to screw and do as you want, then you don't have no power as a racist. You're not really a racist.
Exactly. Just because a black man gonna get trailer trash doesn't mean that he has power or parade Kim Kardashian around. That means that you're taking their region. That's what that means. That's not power.
Right. Actually, it's called powerless.
That's what it's called.
I mean, if you're taking a person just thinking that you're going to get some sort of economic value. Now, you know, love is one thing, commitment's another thing, and all that. But if you're doing it just because you're thinking you're doing some sort of social move, you know, you're moving up in society, you're really moving on down. You're really moving on down because the ones that you will actually want would never give up the goodies to be with you because, you know, would you really stop, being your favorite of your families, your friends, you know, your whole social structure for that one person? No, that's some fairy tale bullshit. That's some Cinderella bullshit. And as a man, you wouldn't even want to go that route. You would, oh my God, I'm just waiting for her to come through and pick me up. You know, basically a George Washington move, because people don't realize George Washington was a broke backwater fool, you know, after the war. The richest man in Virginia. Once again, that's funny. Virginia just keeps coming up in this conversation. So there could be something very powerful happening there today. But he marries the richest man's daughter in Virginia. That's how he gets his slaves. That's how he gets his money. That's how he gets his wooden teeth. Okay. Before then.
Exactly. Now that's some sick stuff to steal a man's teeth. Okay.
Yes.
That's sick.
Yes.
But that is power.
That's powerful because you know why? Because I done fucking did what I want, eating all this nasty ass food out here in the woods for years. My shit rotted out. I see you, slave. You got this good, beautiful smile. I'm gonna steal your smile. Not only gonna steal your body, I'm gonna steal your smile. Let that sink in. I'm not only gonna steal your time. I'm gonna steal your.
But I want to get back to Virginia, like you. It's mighty funny how the internet, is portraying what they're doing down there in Virginia. And you do realize this group they keep calling the base. If you Google it, Pat, it means Al-Qaeda.
You're talking about the white nationalists. What the sisters are alluding to, yeah.
Google Al-Qaeda. What does Al-Qaeda mean? It literally means the base.
Hold on, let me try to pull that.
According to Google.
I don't. Because sometimes when I start Googling things on suddenly the computer starts freezing up. It's like, oh, I guess can't work, but let's try it. Hold on. What is the meaning of Al-Qaeda? Okay, now the definition.
According to your dictionary, the definition of Al-Qaeda is a radical Islamic group organized by Osama bin Laden in the 1990s to engage in terrorist activities. A group of militant Muslim fundamentalists founded by bin Laden is an example of Al-Qaeda.
Okay, what does it mean to you?
No,
here it is. Here it is. I got it now. I got it now for everybody to see. Check it out. You see, we ain't gonna let this damn computer stop us. Okay, Al-Qaeda. All right. I know it's kind of weird. but translate from Arabic to English, the base, the foundation, the database, alternal, and then it's a Sunni Islamic. So that's what the sister was saying. It is the base, which
the base.
Yeah.
So it's the same playbook. They use it different players.
Yes. Yes.
So instead of Al-Qaeda, then it's gonna be they want to scare everybody up. It's the white supremacists. We've always had white supremacist murderers.
Yes. Yes. Preach it.
How can Trump scare us for real though? Any more than what the Democratic Party has done to black people. And totally, they gonna hang on and continually to deny us reparations, and they know that we deserve it. What is America's original sin?
Slavery.
See, they don't want to talk about that.
And it still can go on. Look, if I know, let's do. I'm going to do this just for the new listeners, old people, the old listeners. You guys already know where I'm going, but this is for the new listeners. Okay. Now, Sister Janice, I just went to your home. I just killed your family. I just put you in slavery. I took over your home. I gave your home to my children. My children gave your home to their children. Now your children is coming to us talking about, can we have back our home? Can we get some sort of reparation? And I'm sitting there talking about, no, that would not be right. We don't need to give you guys nothing. Hell, your uncle sold you guys to her. You know, like I hollered at your brother, and he's like, "Yo, you give me some beans, and you can have my sister's house over there." That's what the argument where the Africans sold you guys into slavery. Blah blah blah. Well,
right,
that
exactly.
might have been the kid.
They're not gonna tell you what King Leopold did. How he killed millions and millions of Africans.
So was it really
colonization means something?
Yes. Can you explain it to what the uninitiated? What does colonization mean to you, Sister Janice?
I believe this way they go in and they change the mindset of the people through terrorism. That's what colonization is.
By the sword.
There's no other way to explain it. It's a reason why on our currency that eagle is holding arrows in one hand and a side of peace in the other.
Right. Either you do what I
That's
say.
not by accident. That's by design.
Yes. Yes, it is.
And shout out to Brother Fred. He be on it.
Oh yeah, bro. Like I said, the whole chat group here, everybody in this place. You know, Brother A1 been on the show. You know, as a guest. You now. You know, the audience is just legendary. You know what I mean? The audience is cut above. We don't have no dense, dumb people. People who watch this show, who participate in the show, are academically astute. They really know what's going on. This is not for the unwoke person, because you're unwoke. If you don't really know what's going on, you're not gonna dig this show. You're gonna be like, oh, these guys are just a bunch of crybaby black racists, blah blah blah, etc. blah etc. Which could be.
No, we don't have any power. There's no way that we can be racist.
I know. Now you could argue.
We are the least. Black Americans are the least racist. Right. And it's like I heard someone say, we are the only ones who truly, throughout the whole world, try to fight white supremacy. We're the only people.
Right. Well, everybody else gets a little crumbs, sister. Don't you see? Even the Asian boy. Look, you know, I might call you a gook. Remember John McCain called the whole Asian gook?
Exactly.
All right. No big deal, because of the fact that, you know, you guys still ain't niggers. You know, you still ain't niggers.
At the end of the day, you may be a wetback, but you still ain't a nigger.
Right. And the motherfucker's supposed to be like, well, thank you, boss. Can I get another plate of cornbread? You know, like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? I'm a human being. You're a human being. Wouldn't you like to be a human being too? You know, I mean, the thing is when, once again, like I said on that, or not I said, but the dude said when his grandbaby was like, I'm going to grow up to have black skin, right? A lot of hardcore racists, the reality is they love black people. They love black people. They love black individuals. They hate black people. In other words, they may want to desire to be like us in some aspects, normally in the sexual aspects, because they're still caught up on the dick thing, okay? But when you
Exactly.
take that away,
Shout out to Francis Chris Wilson on the ISIS paper. Every Black person, that should be a requirement that we read that book and understand the structure of racism.
yes.
It's based on the Black man's penis.
And a mighty penis it is.
And
I'm not trying to be ignorant.
I can't think of what it's called. That's down there in Washington, D.C. The opposite.
Oh yes, the Washington
That's
Monument.
based on the penis.
Right. And they got another penis in front of St. Peter's Basilica over there in the Vatican City. And you know, Egypt has a bunch of penises. And what we're calling penises, they are the phallic. They're the symbol of the phallic or the penis in stone.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Now, the only big white penis you will find like that is basically in the man-made immaculations. In other words, all right, when we start breaking down the average, not the above average, but just the average, okay, they start coming up short. What I mean by short is, you know, I don't mean to be like, I'm not trying to be funny because this is a very serious topic, but they start coming up short. And that shortness caused a certain spirit in, I guess, their female partners, the spirit of unfulfillment, the fear, the spirit. It's sort of like if I'm sitting there feeding you a dinner, right? And I keep on, here you go, Sister Janice. And you're like, your plate consists of, you know, one little French fry, maybe a half of a hamburger, and maybe a quarter of a cup of, you know, juice or whatever. Okay. And that's what I'm talking about, serving you in a nice fancy house. But you see this other brother, you see a brother, though, he's down here in a shack that I put his ass in because I can't compete with his dinner. His dinner has fucking steaks and shrimps and fucking lobsters and fucking, you know, damn smorgasbord or whatever. And I get jealous. I've been like, no, you can't hang out with him, sister. You can't go down there and talk to that motherfucker. You better not look at him. If he ever touches you, you better tell me so we can kill him. Why? Because we got to do that sexual terrorist fear. I know I'm coming up short. I can never compete with dude in the bedroom. So I got to get him out there in the street and cut his dick off while he's hanging in a tree.
Exactly.
This is what we're against.
So it should be a requirement for everyone to read the ISIS paper.
You know,
then we can understand what is happening, what's going on with us as a people.
Right. And it's warfare. I want to be.
It's warfare.
All right.
Everything is warfare. Everything is warfare. Sex is warfare. Everything is warfare. Economics is warfare. Like Mr. Neely Fuller said, the 9 areas of I can't think right now, but anyway, Pat, you be getting up so early in the morning.
I know.
The first thing I look at, I said, how long you been on? Training for 44 minutes. I said, God, but the early bird gets the worm, see?
You know it. And this allows me to bring up other, you know, like breaking news throughout the day. But I quite literally been up since 3:00 this morning. I always start because a lot of, you know, viewers from overseas send me messages, and I start reviewing videos that I'm going to use in the broadcast later on, like, you know, a few hours after I do my little meditation in the morning, because I do believe in the Most High. I do believe in the one God, the one creator of the whole universe. He created me. He created all the flesh that I came from. The original first day he created that kicked me off that I represent today came from him. And I believe this sincerely. Now, I'm not one of these guys where I'm going to go and kick down your door, Sister Janice. Oh, you got to believe the way my belief doesn't need validation by you or any other human being.
Exactly.
That's not.
Exactly. Right. Let's get back to the white hardcore supremacy.
Okay.
So I worked in the prison system for about 10 years. And there's one thing that I noticed about them. They respected the Nation of Islam in the prison system. Even the guy who talked to Elijah Muhammad and the white supremacists and told him the next time we won't have hoods. We're going to be your judges, your police officers. We're going to be all those things. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be your nurses, your doctors.
Yep. Yes.
They respect the Nation of Islam because the Nation of Islam did not want to integrate with them.
Well, no.
They wanted their own separate but equal society. Now, anybody has a choice to be and do what they want to do. Me, I choose to be around amongst my own people. That's my choice.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that I hate all people. I don't hate them. I just choose to be around my own people. Look at the Chinese. You don't see the Chinese or even these white Hispanics that's coming over here illegal. You do not see them trying to simulate in American culture.
No, they keep their own.
They keep their own. And now it's so sad when you call a business or something, push one for English and two for Spanish.
Right.
There's something wrong with that picture. But they tell us that we need to assimilate.
Oh, because you're a peasant, sister. That business don't belong to you. That business don't belong to you. You better bow down, even though you got to use this business to operate. You got to bow down and acquiesce, whatever the hell. Next you're going to be like, press 2 for English. It'd be like, press 1 for Spanish, press 2 for English. Then it's going to be, I know what you're saying on that level, because in the state of California, by law, in the state of California, if you go to a car dealership, there has to be someone at that car dealership to speak Spanish. So technically, in the state of California, Spanish is the state language. It's protected by law.
Wow, that's deep right there.
Yeah.
So I don't.
No, go ahead, sister.
I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna have to take it. Freedom has never been given to anybody. You have to take your freedom.
Yes, and defend it and keep it. It's not a one-time shot. It's not a one-off. You gotta obtain your freedom, and then you have to maintain it. You have to maintain it.
That's what the forefathers of this country said.
Mm-hmm. And they weren't lying. That's the truth.
And they weren't lying.
Because guess what?
It took them less than 100 years to dismantle the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something else I want to ask. So late at night, sometime when I be up, I see these commercials, and they talking about your five rights. I said, this is like some George Orwell shit for real.
Exactly.
They talking about the five. You have a right to assembly. You have a right to petition your government. You have a right. I'm like, but they're missing the one thing, and I don't believe in. I don't believe in guns, but I do believe you need guns in order not to be taken over by tyrants, right? That's just my belief.
A sword,
okay.
A spear. You need some sort of weapon.
But no, the Second Amendment is nowhere in there. So I'm thinking to myself, is this a new constitution that they trying to make the people believe exists?
Yes. Yes.
Have you seen that commercial?
No, I haven't seen that commercial, but I understand that thought process. I understand where that commercial, who made that commercial, and why they made that commercial. It's part of propaganda. You got to uneducate people and indoctrinate people into the way that you want to go. Indoctrination, think about this. People are the boat. Propaganda and indoctrination are the rudder and the engine. The propaganda is the engine that speeds you to a direction, but that rudder, the indoctrination, is what really guides you there. We are at war. Brother Fred just said psychological warfare. If I can get you defeated in your mind, sister, guess what? All the days of your life, you can be mad, you can be frustrated, but by God, you're never going to pick up arms against me, because you are already
never going to pick up arms against me.
Yes.
Never.
That's what it's about.
And somebody had said to me, and I thought about it, like with all these domestic laws or whatever, and then you can never own a weapon again.
Oh, stop.
Let's just no, what?
No, I know what you're saying, man. The whole like criminal.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, this is targeted toward black men.
Yes, thank you.
You have an argument, and then you don't. I mean, the woman or you or whoever don't understand what's going on, but the ultimate aim is to take your gun.
The ultimate aim is to kill us. No,
I know.
No, I'm going to say for the
uninitiated. But first they got to disarm us before they can kill us.
Yes. It's very easy to take a little brother out when he just has his fist versus that little brother has a shotgun, a rifle, or a sword or something.
Exactly.
Right? Because one thing about it, if you look at how they even swat people, they're very cowardly. They wait till 4 o'clock in the morning when people should be asleep. That's when they strike. Everything about the
Isn't
empire.
that something? That's something right there.
Well, yeah. I mean, okay, let's look at it here. Look at here, sister. For me to explain, because I know you're woke, so it's not that far of a stretch with you. But if let's just assume you wasn't woke, let's just say you're just an average, run-of-the-mill, U.S. citizen. Look, citizen, you are living in an empire. Let me explain why. For one, they want to take your rights away to bear arms. Two, you have a government that engages in torture, engages in torture. And three, it also engages in assassination, not just of JFK, John F. Kennedy, John F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, not just those guys, but we actually just killed a sovereign nation's general. So it's cool, right? That we just blew away a sovereign nation's general. So does that mean that it'd be okay if they took out our national defense, or if they took out one of our generals, or if they took out one of our soldiers? Because see, I'm thinking about our guys. I'm thinking about our
USA liberty they already have. They already have. Now they just exported worldwide.
There it is.
When they did that and nothing happened to them, they knew they had us. And what I'm talking about. These same people who say they ain't white people, but if I look at them, they appear to be white.
But don't you know that
they call Israel, Mossad, MI6. That's what I'm talking about. Jews.
Well,
now I want to get your show taken off the ass twice, but I know what they'll do.
Small bandanos, or no, wait, small sombreros. Hey, if we get taken off here, we got the backup channel, iStars. We got the backup channel.
Thank you. I didn't know that.
Yeah, but I haven't put the link on any of my YouTube because I don't want them. You know what I'm saying? Having that hard copy. But I tell you guys during the show. Brother Kenneth, welcome to the show. Peace and power. Sister Janice is on the line for you newcomers. Now, you brought us something that's so devastatingly true. Israel. Let's just go there. The big elephant in the room, okay? Now, with the help of
the one that's sitting on Black America's chest.
Oh, well, tradition.
Who's that? I can't think of the group that did the undercover thing where Israel said that Black Americans, you are the biggest threat to Israel. Now, how on earth can our youth be the biggest threat to Israel? Brother Fred, you know what I'm talking about.
Well, I would say because our youth are the genetic inheritors of the true nation.
That's right.
Israel.
That's right.
Okay. So whenever I know that, like I said, remember I snuck into your I came into your house. Your brother sold me your house. I came in there, I abused your women, I abused your children, I abused your men. And then my children are claiming to be, no, we are the Janus people. We are the Lewises. We are the Lewises. But we know the real Lewises are living over there in the woods. The biggest threat to us are those kids over there in the woods. Why? Because they actually came from Sister Janice. Because
actually, you stole my inheritance.
Yes, I stole your inheritance and your identity. You know what I'm saying? It's identity frog on an epic level. On an epic level. All right. That's what we're dealing with. And many people have died trying to get this information. I like to joke and I like to kid about things. But what we're talking about right now is highly serious. A lot of people have died mentioning what we're talking about.
I know.
And
it's the truth. Truth that falsehood till you knock his brains out.
Yes. For goodness sakes, man. Look how many activists, civil rights activists, which I don't call them civil rights activists, I call them American patriots because they were patriotic.
Exactly.
American patriots. All right. They died trying to ensure all the citizens of this republic were guaranteed the same rights and privileges under the republic law. See, either we're going to have a real republic or we're going to have a piecemeal bullshit that's going to come crushing down. I think we elected to have the piecemeal bullshit because this son of a bitch is truly getting crushed. It's getting crushed. I don't want it to be crushed because I don't have another nation to run to. But
and to all those people, I don't mean to cut you off, Pat, but to all those people who believe that Trump is coming to save them, to save them from the illegals and to save them from black people and to make America great again. Trump was the same one who sat at that panel and said, just take the gun and you can do due process later. That was him who said that.
Well, don't forget, what do you expect from a guy who hangs out with a fucking pedophile kid fucker?
Okay.
What do you expect?
Okay. And at first, you know what? I thought that the thing going on with Meghan Markle was because they was trying to deflect from Prince Harry and his little children escapade with Jeffrey Epstein. Mm-hmm. I thought that was a deflection, but that's not a deflection. They really terrorizing that woman.
Well, think about it. She might want it. Now, you hit on something, and I don't think anyone else has spoken on this in the media. What if she did that to protect that little baby up? She don't want the baby to get molested by like all the other royal kids might have. I want to say it like this, so I don't. There's no legal deals, but you guys should
allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly, or you know, because there was a huge pedophile ring exposed in the UK, I think during Tony Blair's administration. All right, where there were
exactly. I can't think of the white guy name. I mean, he was completely white.
Yeah,
and he had molested and sent thousands of children through the palace. I don't know if anybody remember this, but it's been a while back where they had a news show where some child was scaling the wall of the palace, buck naked, trying to get out of there.
Oh my God!
And then, not to mention all the dead babies that they done found in the yard.
Now, if that would have been your or my yard, all suddenly you've been the most prolific fucking killer the world has ever seen. All right, but because it's in the royal, no, well, this was no, this is some sort of archaeological debacle. Oh, come on, these people are sick. When you have that type of power, the only thing you can get you off is doing the most heinous and deprived thing. You know, just drinking a beer, smoking a joint ain't gonna be good enough for you to get your kicks off. Now you gotta go in and destroy whole groups of people. You gotta rape kids in front of their parents. You gotta do some sick, crazy shit like cut off women's breasts in front of a group of people in some sort of weird ritual to feel good about yourself. This is the problem of being decadent. This is the problem of having no moral compass.
Yes.
Man, I'm so glad you called in today, sister.
What did you say?
I said I'm so glad and so honored and blessed that you called in today. You know,
thank you, brother Pat. Like I said, I wake up, look at, and then every time I said, dang it, he's been on 44 minutes already. Magical number 44. It's always 11, 44, 33. I'm like, wait a minute now, what's going on here?
Well, the truth be trying to go on up in here, and it's not hard to find the truth, but what I say is hard is for the truth to be exposed to the masses. Like again, I'm just a guy in Missouri. I have no huge research team unless you consider a slow ass computer and a brilliant mind a research team, but that's all I got to work with. But I've tried to bring you nuggets of truth every fucking day, at least a couple times a day, and to get you to do your own research to understand, look, man, we are all in this together. There are the black people, we should have no leaders. The only leader that you should be taking orders from is either your father, your mother, your grandpa, or your grandmother, your grandfather, or the person who looks back at you in the mirror. There should be no outside leaders that you do not know, that you never met, that never put food on your fucking table, that never wiped your ass when you was a baby, that never helped you when you was having that fever, putting that cold rag on your head and saying it's going to be okay, baby. You know, fuck these old fake ass leaders that'll lead your ass astray. Now take the good shit, read the books if you want to, take the good stuff out of it, but incorporate it into your own critical thinking strategies and tactics. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't support religious leaders. Absolutely. If you feel that you connect with Islam, support your Islamic leaders. If you feel like you relate to your Christianity, support your Christian leaders, Jewish leaders, your Luciferian leaders, your satanic leaders, whatever the case, your atheist leader, whatever. But at the end of the day, I hope sincerely that you guys start taking the power of leadership for yourselves and lead yourself and your family, and let these fools be led by the minstrel show. And the minstrel show is not just black actors, there's white actors in that show as well. There's Asian actors as well. All right. Because now we got to get back to the reality that probably this will be the year, more than likely, Sister Janice, that disclosure of aliens will probably come out. You already see, okay, let me show you something here. Do you not find it odd that until the United States, I mean, I guess you could argue Amsterdam was free, but until the United States started legalizing weed, all over the world, marijuana was illegal. Why is that? Why would you would think that if you was a country somewhere else, you'd be like, you know what? I don't care what America has to say. Over here, you could do cocaine, you could do heroin for nothing else, just to draw in Americans for vacations. That wants to go there and do those damn drugs and act a fool. But the reason why, that shows you just how strong white supremacy is. Until the white boy who's really running things says, okay, this is cool, ain't nothing gonna change. But once he says it's cool, all of a sudden, like, oh, you can get a dispensary, here's a weed card, here's this. Now brothers and sisters sitting there rotting in jail over joints, over seeds, over bags. Exactly. That's why I don't promote fucking pot on this fucking show.
Black people, black men especially, should have been the number one purveyors of this. They should have been the number one had access to this.
Well,
11,000, and I find this to be interesting, that number, 11,000 people off in Chicago. Wow. White men get to all the dispensaries and shit. That's not reparation.
No, that's
I'm not for drugs at all. Right. But what I'm saying is, if anybody should have had access to that, it should have been us.
Well, let's not even go to drug thing. Let's just go to rap thing. All right, let's just go to rap thing. How come the rappers don't make the majority of the money? The small hats. Now that
exactly.
Who's that dude? Eminem, right? He has a. How come Eminem don't come out talking about because he can reach tons and tons of people, right? How come he doesn't talk about reparations for black folks? He talk about taking your gun, but he ain't gonna talk about I think my homies out there in the grind should be getting reparations. Huh?
Well, he ain't gonna say that because he's a psyop too.
Exactly. Only take the negative aspect.
Actors and actresses and sports stars, they're all psyops and they're all controlled, just like Oprah Winfrey and Gayle King with their anti-black rhetoric against black men.
Well, because
all those pictures with Oprah Winfrey and Harvey Weinstein, all those pictures with him, but she still got time to make a documentary about Russell Simmons. We're watching you, Oprah, and we're watching you, Gail. And when they get through with you, like they do with all they do, they're gonna break you too.
Hold on. What's going on with Brother King's? I'm sorry. I'm looking at chat room, and all of a sudden, Brother Fred King's messages are all fucking disappearing. Why is?
Are you serious? Because I'm on my phone.
No, his last one.
I can't read what's going on in the chat right now.
Brother Fred, what the hell's going on with your damn chat, man? And then Brother A1's message is gone too. It's redacted or retracted. Man, y'all, do not erase your messages, y'all, because those messages are very important. There's a lot of people. A lot of young people watch this show, read these messages, and it helps them to basically do their research, because I cannot talk about everything. Some of your messages out there, I might not speak on them, but they are so important because I know others are going to follow up on that, man. So I'm just asking you guys, when you guys shoot some of these important messages, please do not remove them, man. Please do not. Keep them for the young people. All right. Brother Will, welcome to the show. And Otto, welcome to the show as well. Well, you know what, brother A1, I'm sorry. The channel's already flagged, dude. I've had Wayne Madsen on. I've had so many people from all over the world that that they know who I talk to all over this fucking planet. We're not hiding anymore. We're out in the light pretty much. So we might as well just throw our flags up. Oh, you're A1. All right, brother. We might as well just throw our flags up and just keep it rolling. Sister Barbara's in the house. Right on. Man, it's like a family reunion, man. I see all these chatters' names coming. It's like an old family reunion, because there is a core group, a TPIM audience that's just been here ever since the other morning show days when then we converted to special report. Now we're at TPIM SR Live. And, this show, wouldn't be nothing without you guys and girls. Folks like Sister Janice here, brother Al, he's not in the room, but hey, has anyone seen brother Nick around lately? Nick, Area 51. You know who I'm talking about, don't you, Sister Janice?
No, I don't.
Hold on. Nick.
Oh, but anyway, I'm gonna get off and continue to listen to the show.
All right. Well, thank you.
But I appreciate you for bringing me on. Thank you.
You're welcome, sister. Nick, okay. Area. I'm gonna try to find brother Nick real quick. I think this is him. Hold on. All right. Yeah. Shit, he hasn't uploaded something. Something's up. Something is definitely up. This is what I'm talking about, yeah. His name has changed. All right. Brother Nick, we did a lot of his shows. Brother Nick was the one that was really into sky watching. And he hasn't posted. See, I knew he's been missing for a while. He hasn't posted nothing for 2 fucking months. Brother Nick was prolific like me. He was doing shit every damn day. I mean, just look, 3 months, 3 months, 3 months. Look at all these 3 months videos. And then after this, you can see a bunch of 4 months. And yes, I did watch a lot of his videos. Damn. And I don't have his numbers or nothing. Because Brother Nick was really big into chemtrails. And a lot of YouTube's deal would put shit on his videos. Chemtrails or contrails. And really, this guy's lying and all this bullshit. The sun shines so bright there. But space is all black. Hold on. Pastor. See, this is what I'm talking about, man. I can draw off these people here. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I want you guys to check this out. It's only 2 minutes. Now, this is Pastor Dow. All right. Some of you guys won't agree with him. I get it. But just listen to the brother, and then we'll move on from there. Okay.
Coldies can shorten your.
Oh, goodness.
All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dowell, and I'm going to answer a question here real quick. Pastor Dowell, what is your take on the flat earth? The flat earth, and of course, a lot of people call it a theory, conspiracy theory, or whatever. I've learned over the years that I truly just don't trust anything that the government says. Yeah. Even if the government tells me that the sky is blue, I'll say it's light blue or purple or brown. Because there's something going on. I mean, you think about this for a second. I'm answering a question about the flat earth, but I gotta lay some groundwork. How is it that we allegedly went to the moon well over 50 years ago, 40, 50 years ago, something like that, maybe 40 years ago? How is it that we allegedly went to the moon and we ain't been back since? You believe that? I don't believe we ever went to the moon. Just like I definitely don't believe that Christopher Columbus discovered America. How can you discover a place already been inhabited? Now, with that said, if the sun is all these millions of miles away from us, listen to me very closely. If the sun is all these millions of miles away from us, and between Earth and the sun, space is black. I mean, really black. It is really dark. How in the hell the sun that is so dang bright, how does it skip past all that blackness, all that darkness out in outer space, but then it shines on us right here on the earth? But it skips all the space now. it just don't make sense. What do you think? I mean, there's always going to be controversy concerning the subject, because some people are just government people. They believe whatever they spoon feed them. They believe everything. But just in that thought in itself, sun all these million miles away is black out there, dark as I don't know what in space. But yet it shines so bright here on this earth, it don't make sense to me.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome, Wiley Cooper. Peace and power. Welcome, brother. I just wanted to play that excerpt because, the pastor makes some good points. I mean, look how bright this guy is. Not the guy, but the scenery behind him and stuff, right? But if you was to go past this, all of a sudden it gets dark as fuck. So dark, even cameras, you can't, all the pictures from the moon, you don't see any stars. Now, the reason why I believe that we can never tell people that they haven't been to the moon, look how much money has been wasted fooling around. Oh, shit, we're almost on 2 hours. Hold on, let me play the rest of this Jeffrey Epstein thing. Then I'll end this broadcast. But I am going to do I'm going to come back immediately. I'm going to play this broadcast here because I want it to be 2 different broadcasts. So let's do this one right now.
Notice to some pretty connected people that I wanted to talk to them. He is the only person and never was able to confirm it. But I heard
I'm on the same boat with that.
And let me also ask, where is Ghislaine Maxwell? Where has she been?
Well, according to multiple sources, Ghislaine Maxwell was Jeffrey Epstein's fixer, the person who facilitated his abuse of teenage girls. But since Epstein's death, Maxwell has rarely appeared in public and has not been charged with any crime. Now, according to a new report, that is not an accident. Apparently, she is being protected. Chief breaking news correspondent Trace Gallagher has more on this story. Hey, Trace.
Hey, Tucker, the question has long lingered about whether his ex-girlfriend and confidant Ghislaine Maxwell would face charges for allegedly recruiting and grooming these young girls for underage sex. But our corporate cousin, the New York Post, says, for now, Maxwell is untouchable, with the source saying, quote, Ghislaine is protected. She and Jeffrey were assets of sorts for multiple foreign governments. They would trade information about the powerful people caught in his net, caught at Epstein's house. Adding, quoting here, she is not in the U.S. She moves around.
Hold on. Before I go, I know I already played this part before, but Brother Fred King, on the next live show, I would like, if you could, possibly call him, because you do have a lot of interesting comments. You obviously have a lot of knowledge. If you could, I would like for you to call in, do a little impromptu interview. So just so you can share your knowledge, and it cannot be edited out of the broadcast. It cannot just disappear. All right. Sister Barbara, Pastor Dow expects women to be submissive to men all the time. Pretty much, yeah. Hold on. Let's continue. Will, welcome to the show.
She is sometimes in the UK, but most often in other countries such as Israel, where her powerful contacts have provided her with safe houses and protection. And separately, we should note, a friend of Ghislaine Maxwell tells the Sun newspaper that she has enough dirt on those powerful contacts that she expects.
How do we even know that this chick is really a she and not like some sort of transgender freak? Let's continue.
To avoid any prosecution at all. Tucker.
Any co-conspirators should not rest easy. So here we are months later, and they're looking into this.
Yes, they're definitely moving forward with claims against Ghislaine Maxwell. If I was her defense attorney, I would certainly not advise her to cooperate in this probe. Speaking with the FBI is not going to get her a sweetheart deal.
Right, and we're not even sure exactly where she is and what kind of extradition we're even talking about here if she's overseas.
Absolutely, you know.
Doesn't this chick look like a bobblehead? Hold on. This chick looks like a bobblehead. Watch her face. When the chick starts talking, she looks like a fucking bobblehead. Look at her.
Against Ghislaine Maxwell. If I was her defense attorney, I would certainly not advise her to cooperate in this probe. Speaking with the FBI is not going to get her a sweetheart deal.
Right, and we're not even sure exactly where she is. And
here she starts with the bobbling. This chick right here. Let me put my finger so the uninitiated right there. That chick right there. Now watch her head.
What kind of extradition we're even talking about here if she's overseas.
Absolutely. You know, it's a question of whether she'll actually come into court voluntarily to face charges or if there'll have to be extradition proceedings. She might be somewhere where we can't even extradite her.
Right. And, you know, Deborah, looking at this, too, one of Epstein's most vocal alleged victims, Virginia Giuffre, had very similar claims to what we saw on Friday. These documents were filed on Friday that this woman says that she was forced to have sex not only with Epstein and his friends, what she says was facilitated by Maxwell. Maxwell claims that she had nothing to do with this. So how, if you're Maxwell's attorney, put on that hat for a second, how do you even begin to defend this? Where do you start?
Well, it's very difficult because now we have another victim coming forward saying that Maxwell participated in the actual sex act. So that means it'll be hard for her to argue that she didn't have knowledge of what was going on. We also have victims that say that she recruited them, that she used a car, which is the interstate element for sex trafficking. Right. So there's another charge that she could face, which is a Mann Act violation, which is transporting someone across state or international lines for illicit, unlawful sex acts. So if she was very lucky, she would get to take a plea to that, which is a 10-year maximum sentence, unlike sex trafficking, which is a 15-year minimum sentence.
What is this insistence on the part of the media to call and refer to her as something as facilitating? This is a woman that, if you listen to any of the testimony, is and should be indicted, charged, in custody, and as a material witness in custody, if for no other reason than her own protection. Bill Barr, I will never...
You guys can't see this. Let me pull it up. Epstein Powell, Ghislaine Maxwell, being guarded by ex-special forces. There it is. Now, you keep on playing your fucking games out here. You keep on thinking that this isn't real stakes. To all the victims of pedophilia, those who have survived, I just want to tell you, stay strong, little brother, little sister, stay strong. These evil pricks will get what's coming to them one way or another. Whether they die in shame, which they should die in shame for their dirty, nasty deeds. Or whether they're exposed prior to death and they're punished accordingly. But when you're dealing with people who are being protected by agents and special forces folks, aren't these supposed to be the enemy of society? I mean, instead of assassinating, a fucking general that might be doing something, how come they don't assassinate chick who we know harm children who we know. How come they don't? Because the people who would execute such an action, this chick could turn around. Oh, wait 1 minute. You went here and you went there. We got these pictures of you with this chick or these pictures with you with this little boy. Oh. Because when you look at all the nations around the world, you're going to see a certain group of people in power. And it's typically men, typically non-melanated, and typically old and wealthy. They're all rich. So once again, Trump ain't locking up Clinton. He's not locking up Obama, but he is going to take your guns. He is going to take your guns. He's a closure. President Trump is a closure. He knows how to close a business 5 times. Bankruptcy 5 times. I can't even go bankruptcy once. He can do it 5 times. That there is no racial discrimination in this country. Please, that's all this country is. It's one huge racial discrimination. So let me finish this out. And then, like I said, I'm going to start the next show.
Understand how we can go after all of these people under the sun, and this woman is still on the loose, on the lam, either in Israel being watched by Mossad, in the Mideast where they say.
Did you hear what he just said? Now, Sister Barbara and the brothers have been telling you Mossad. But now when this old creepy dude here says it, maybe people will listen up.
On the loose, on the lam, either in Israel being watched by Mossad, in the Mideast where they say, why isn't she being watched by prison officials watching her as she sits in a cell waiting to stand trial? That's what I want to know.
Did they bother to ask where in the world is Ghislaine Maxwell and why is the FBI, are they actually starting an investigation? Is she really under guard of armed former U.S. Navy SEALs? What's going on with her?
Bill Barr would know that. They also said, Bill Barr said, well, you know, I looked at the video and I didn't see anything. Bill, there were 2 videos. The other video was on a camera that they admitted wasn't working. Now, listen, if you've got 2 neurons and a working synapse, you're going to say, wait a minute, you don't have to be Quincy. This isn't Sherlock Holmes. I don't want to look, I'm going to just say it. It's almost as though they're saying, okay, we talked about it. Now go away. We discussed it. Be happy. That's all you're going to get. Just take this, okay?
Show's over, folks.
We're moving on.
And that's the same response you get with reparations. We talked about it. You're not getting it. And even that Bernie Sanders, everyone's black people like. If you like Bernie Sanders, you're a fool. I don't believe the blacks should get reparations, but the Jews, yeah, small hats needs reparations. This is so sad. Well, this will include TPIM SR Live today. I want to thank Sister Janice for calling in, being brave enough to share her thoughts with the show and the rest of the world. I want to thank all the chatters, all the listeners, all the supporters. Alpha 86, welcome to the show. Peace and power. I'm glad you made it. Welcome, brother. Brothers and sisters, live your life with integrity without hate, envy, or greed. And as always, please, let's try to be kinder to each other. Peace and power, unity and victory, dignity and respect, liberation. And Brother David, welcome to the show. Peace and power. And I'm out.